Liquid is right in the middle of the circle, and look at this, Cloud9 pushing right up next to OP Rangers. The grenades are starting to come out. Mintel's trying to connect with it. Going to be running by his motorcycle he has parked over there. A slow and steady push coming out from Cloud9. We haven't seen them be too flashy as of yet. They've got to run right through that grenade. K-Mine can't quite make it through. So now we've got OP Rangers that are starting to get a little bit more control of the fight. Profi doesn't have the angle, but looks like Cloud9 has managed to take control over one side of this building and are going to use that chance to res and med up.
The reinforcements are coming in here from the OP Gaming Rangers. Tamari and Babo have set up on the northern edge to provide cover for Mental and DG98. They might opt to just back off of this fight for now. It is outside of the circle.
Tiksu's in a little bit of trouble. Here's the rest of Winstrike is trying to make their way over. Armory Gaming going to be running right up next to him. That's going to be nice shots coming up from them. Going to get the down and the flush. No, can't quite get the flush off of it. Winstrike Tanuki's playing the other angle, so now you can see Jorski's just trying to get to a point where maybe he can defend Tiksu. Honboya took a lot of damage inside of that exchange, and Duckmans did go down, but it is a numbers advantage right now for Armory Gaming. Tiksu is just huddled into a corner, praying nobody is going to look back his direction. General's going to peek around the side, could spot him out in just a second. Here come the grenades. Tiksu is feeding over so much information. The longer he stays alive, he can just listen to footsteps. You can see AG just really wants to take him out, deny that information, finally does get it.
Great push here by AG, keeping Ducksman alive. A huge moment for them. Profi in the background, getting a knock and a kill onto OP Gaming Rangers. So C9 really putting the pressure down there on the southern edge of the circle. Afreeca Freecs fatal there as well. And it looks like Tamari is trying to see if he can get a flank onto C9 as they're rotating towards this knock onto Mental.
He's got a nice position. I don't know if Cloud9 is expecting it. Grenades are starting to roll through. That's a nice connection onto Mental. The other one's going to roll back down the hillside. DG's feeling like he's in a little bit of danger. But back behind this, Tamaria is just watching this and finally going to take the shots. But it might be a touch too late. Cloud9 has no idea where they're coming from. They're just getting torn down. That's going to be Lobes getting flushed out. Tamaria with a nice pickup.
Yeah, but Tamari is the last member here alive for OP Gaming Rangers. Profi. Too little, too late, and exactly. Profi moving up here to try to cut Tamaria off. It is a 3v1 here for the OP Gaming Rangers. They had the position, but C9 making this push work, showing how well NA is able to push compounds.
OP Rangers, they're now stuck inside this building. They are not inside the safe zone. One member remaining. They know they have to push. Cloud9 is firmly aware of where they're at. You can see that Nerf's taking a couple of shots back on this angle. That means that Profi's going to know the exact positioning of the OP Rangers' last member. They're going to go over that motorcycle we saw beforehand. Are they just going to try to cut and run out of this? This could be very, very dangerous. Oh, it's going to be Winstrike getting involved in this fight at the most opportune time for OP Rangers, getting that down onto Nerf. So now Tamari can just jump in the motorcycle and ride through, but it's going to be right into Winstrike. A lot of damage now coming over towards Tamari. Can't make it up the hill. Inside the blue does not matter. Gonna go down.
Great positioning here from Winstrike, but AG is right on their heels. Here comes DMG. He's hearing this fight, getting the rip on the Jorski. That will be Winstrike going down, eliminated by Armory Gaming in 13th.
Cloud9 has not had a chance to catch their breath. They haven't even been able to get the res right now. Profi's just looking back up towards Honboya, gets one of them down. Armory Gaming still got to make a little bit more of a cross. Tempo Storm is waiting down on a different angle for him. Okay, we finally do see the res come through onto Nerf, so Cloud9 back to 3 members.
Yep, and AG here getting a few points for themselves, but losing Honboya in the process, but that doesn't really seem to affect this Thailand team. And VSG has been doing a lot of work, losing Starlord early, but picking up some kills here. Now we've got a battle between Force and 4am.
4am is trapped outside right on the blue. Forever tries to push forward, but you can see OGN Entus Force is just waiting for him. Captain's taking a lot of damage out there, just trying to get meds off, but it's going to be another angle that he is getting shot from. Finally does manage to make it into safety, but he is the last member of 4 angry men. I guess you could say they're 1 angry man right now. Look at this. VSG is coming right up behind Force. I don't think that they're aware of it. Look at the patience coming through. The trap is now sprung. The grenades are coming down with the spray, but look at the spin back from Force. They get the down onto one of them to start this off. So now it's 2 members of VSG trying to figure out how do they make the push back down through this. Make that one member as Dengche is the last one alive.
VSG just trying to pick up some points with kills, being aggressive, but it doesn't pay off. They can't make the sprays work early on, and that proved really detrimental. Sungjung, one of the best in the business at turning on people. Dengche will be able to back off for now. Here we got Tempo Storm fighting Team Liquid. A bunch of knocks being traded between these two teams. Getting a lot of damage done to them by Gemty of Team Liquid. Backing off for now. Nerf hiding behind a tree, trying to get that heal off.
But look at Afreeca Freecs. They're starting to move. They have that high ground position. Nerf's taking a lot of damage. Nowhere that he can really move to. He just had a couple of trees. Team Liquid made a defensive line, just gave them no place to hide. But now Freecs starting to make their way up over that hill. There actually could see Team Liquid first, depending on the angle, actually taking a couple of grenades back over to where Profi's at. I believe they spotted him while they were rotating into that spot. But Lambu also looking back over towards Team Liquid. They might choose into fighting two different teams at the same time here.
Yeah, it could happen. They've backed off a little bit for now. It looks like they're a little bit scared. They took some shots from various angles here, and it looks like Lambu still trying to catch up onto that left flank. We see Lambu do this from time to time, where he goes out to the flanks and tries to cover the team.
It's going to be Lambu taking some shots back over towards Samty, gets the down onto him. Going to go for the flush to follow through. The rest of Team Liquid going for a reposition. Very aware that they still have Cloud9 back behind them. They know that they might be in a little bit of a pincered position, so trying to figure out how they want to best play this. Cloud9 hears the firefight and is now flanking around, actually going to be coming back up behind Freecs Fatal. Depending on how much they're looking back towards Team Liquid right now, that could be very detrimental for him, as nope, looks like Style knows exactly where Profi was going to be coming from. Hits a nice headshot onto him to get the drop for it, and now it's just K-Mine doing a peek battle back and forth. Style has the angle for it, but is just one member. In is pushing across the top of the hill. Knows exactly where Cloud9 is going to be at, trying to find the right angle for it. Gets the flush down onto one of them and actually steps right up into K-Mine, who gets a down onto it and a flush to follow through. Now Styles playing that outside angle. In has to make that retaliation push back through, but the blue is coming back through. Grenade does a lot of damage to K-Mine, but he is still somehow alive. It's going to be Jimpty that takes the shots back over towards In that gets the down onto him. K-Mine is now just crawling forward, praying that nobody sees him. Finally does jump up, making his way over towards that car. Can he find some type of space to work with? You can see K-Mine's trying to go for the flush onto it, making them up to 10 kills right now, but Jimpty now knows exactly where he's at.
This is crazy. K-Mine absolutely doing amazing things here for C9. He has been their star player throughout this tournament, and it continues here today. Entus Force up on the north edge, still vying for control of that area with the Aerowolves and the surviving member of VSG. There's two left here for the Aerowolves. They're just waiting. They're trying to be patient. And ooh, Style trying to come over here to fight Incognito. Has to back off because of that grenade.
Last member for his squad steps right up into Incognito, and they get the down onto it. So now more and more control is coming out their way, but they still need to make their way back down to where 17 Gaming is at. It looks like they might decide to make that push over to where Team Liquid and Cloud9's last members are at. Abisa's just watching the angle. K-Mine's trying to figure out where it's at. Keep in mind, K-Mine's gonna have to move forward just a little bit more, but so is Abisa. Abisa can hear the footsteps, takes the shot over towards K-Mine, and K-Mine spins back over onto him. That's Team Liquid getting eliminated.
The hero here for C9 taking some more damage from Incognito. They've got 4 members strong. They're trying to push through onto K-Mine. He's trying to heal up behind this tree. There is not a lot of cover here for him, but for now it's just inside who has an angle. Here come the enforcing members of Incognito trying to put some shots onto him, and he will go down. C9 in 7th place.
K-Mine put up a valiant attempt, but there were just a ton of members pushing on this. Incognito wanting to go nowhere near where 17 Gaming is holding down. We still have Entus Force up towards the top of this, and you can see it's just 17 just taking shots and getting more and more control over this position. Force really just the deciding force that may be able to contend with them, but there's so many solos, and we still have the RDK alive off on another angle as well as Dangche. So we'll have to see how Force chooses to play this. They're leaning into their vehicles right now, trying to use them for the last bit of remaining cover they've got.
Right, Dangche here just trying to survive as long as he can. He will be in the circle in that position. He has a decent amount of cover there, so he can buy time while Entus Force continues to engage other teams long range. That's Incognito over there. Incognito taking a lot of damage from various teams. 17 and Force able to get shots down on them.
Incognito gets a little bit of circle favor. Finally, we see VSG getting eliminated. So now Incognito doesn't have to make their dangerous push. That might give them a little bit more life. They had the numbers, but you can see they just have near on no cover to work with. They're just having to run around little divots inside the hill. So 17 getting more and more comfortable in their control of the circle, have started to leave their buildings, taking some shots back over towards Incognito. That's going to be a down in the flush onto one of them. Only 3 kills for 17 because while they have had this building, nobody's been really pushing towards them. So finally stepping out, trying to get those necessary kills.
Right, exactly. They're probably going to have to leave this compound here after this next circle shows itself. 4am still has a member up. Captain has found a way to survive for forever. He lost all 3 members a long time ago. Now we've got YY taking some shots at Entus Force. Entus Force having to smoke up to try to cross this little ravine in between these 2 hills.
Shots now coming through, and here it's RDK taking some shots on the other side of it, finally deciding that he wants to show up, see if maybe he can get something out of all these slight skirmishes that are happening next to him. Yak seems to be aware of it, but it's Incognito that stops Yak's forward progress over next to where RDK is at. You can see Captain down on his his belly, crawling closer, edging little by little right up next to 17 Gaming. Are they aware of it? Look at the amount of damage that has been dealt to Force right now. Only one member alive as they were just huddling together inside the smokes. Captain is just crawling right up next to Shox. I believe he's made it inside the circle.
Oh my gosh, Entus Force just getting torn apart in a crossfire between Incognito and 17 Gaming. Tons of smokes have been laid down. Kale getting finished off here for ENCE, who has 5 kills of his own. Incognito having a nice little round for themselves.
By 17 and Incognito's powers combined, Entus Force is in a world of hurt. They're having to use a ton of utility. Finally, some shots come back through, but Indigo on 19 life steps back up, and Wykickamukau gets a nice drop onto him. Now it is just Yak hanging out right next to RDK. They have a hill separating the two of them. As look at this, Captain knows exactly where 17 is, slowly crawling forward. Could he turn this game on its head? They don't seem to be aware of it. Yak finally takes the shots back over towards RDK. Insight goes down as well. Captain still crawling forward. He's got all the members of 17 in front of him. He could take the shots. He could go for the grenade. What's he gonna do? He's just sneaking up back behind it. Is this gonna be the turning point? Can Captain come up big? It's gonna land right up in their feet. Oh my God! Captain just destroyed 17 Gaming.
Are you kidding me? Captain with the huge grenade and a quad kill, looking to push through here. This could be Incognito's game, or could
We're
Captain
down to a
clutch this?
1v1. It's Wykickamukau versus Captain. He's looking back up. He knows where Wykickamukau is. Another grenade's gonna come out and roll away from Wykickamukau. We've got Incognito playing around one hill, Captain playing around the other. Wykickamukau trying to figure out where these grenades are gonna be coming from. Wykickamukau, what angle does he have? Everybody's gonna be making their way up and forward, and here we go. Circle is closing in. Grenades raining down. You can see Wykickamukau trying to get away from it. A lot of damage back over towards him. He's gonna have to move in just a second. It is just unrelenting from the amount of grenades that Captain is carrying right now.
All that utility they can pick up off of the dead members of 17. He can make it rain here onto Wykickamukau. Wykickamukau does get the first aid off of that grenade. Just a little too far, but he's so weak. 4am, did he do it? He just misses the shot.
He makes it into cover, but it doesn't matter. 4am run away with that and get 8 kills off of Captain's massive plays.
Oh, my goodness, look at this crowd. He has set them on fire. Unbelievable.
4
One man.
a.m. My God, China just showed up inside of that one, and Captain walks away with 6 kills, and you can hear the audience is just absolutely loving it.
This is incredible. Look at this. He had all the time in the world. 17 had no idea this grenade lands right at their feet. None of them even realize it until it's too late.
Captain with a huge play. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that one for quite a while.
That one is going to go down in the history books. That is one of the most insane things I have ever seen in competitive PUBG. Look at them getting that crowd fired up.
They just turned a game on the head. They had so many losses to start that through. Somehow Captain managed to just crawl his way through this bloodbath that was happening all around him. Keep in mind, he was next to Force for what? I want to say about 10 minutes and never got a chance to have anybody look his direction, so somehow sneaks right back behind it. And the tunnel vision from 17 just bites them.
I mean, I love Miramar. This is why I love Miramar. Stuff like this, because of the way the terrain, shifts and undulates in Miramar, it makes for exciting moments like this. We saw it with AG yesterday, where they were soloing things, and now we see it once again with Captain from 4am. I am just beside myself.